Hi, I'm Heidi. I'm the founder of Moola Masters. This is the Moola Master YouTube channel where we talk about everything money. We're going to talk about income streams. We're going to talk about spending plans, savings, investing, the pros and cons of borrowing, and how to protect your assets. Everything and anything is up for grabs. Thank you for joining us on the Moola Master YouTube channel. Hi guys, it's Heidi, founder of Moola Masters, and today I want to talk about investment options. So I just realized that we spent all of that time talking about retirement accounts without talking about where to put your money once it's in the retirement account. Remember when we were talking about why companies in the 80s were so excited about 401ks? It took the retirement burden off of your employers and put it on you, right? So all of a sudden you had to decide whether or not you were going to open a 401k with your company. You had to decide how much money to put in it, and you had to decide how to invest it. So all of that became your problem. So let's talk about how to invest it. So most 401ks, 403bs, TSPs has certain mutual funds, and we like to use mutual funds because they're diversified already. You can get certain ones that just like go to certain categories and stuff, but most of them are pretty diversified into large cap, small cap, value, blah, blah, blah. There's two types. There's index funds and there's actively managed. And the difference between this is how they're run. So an index fund is attached to an index. The most common one we use in our country is the S&P 500, the Standard & Poor 500, which is the top 500 companies in our country. That's what the S&P 500 is. And all the manager here does is when one company's market cap or is worth a little less, it's no longer part of that top 500, it drops below it, they sell that stock. And the new company that now qualifies to be one of the top 500, they buy that stock. That happens around 20 times a year. And every time we buy and sell a stock, there's a cost involved. Actively managed means you have a manager with a salary, and he's looking at his list of things he's supposed to do with his index fund, the one you chose, and deciding which companies will perform the best based on their past performance. Well, what I'm saying is he's trying to tell the future, and I don't know about you, but I'm bad at it, and most of them are too. So since they're buying and selling actively, it's going to cost more, and you have a salary. So the fees over here are going to be more like 1.5 to 2% as a typical fee they're going to see for an actively managed. For an index fund, we're going to see more like 0.03, 0.05, depending on which index you're going with. So it's obviously a lot cheaper to go with this. The other thing to know is that actively managed accounts actually do worse than just a plain index fund. 85% of your actively managed mutual funds do worse than just sticking it in an index fund. So not only are you paying more, but you're losing money or potential money that would have been on the table. So what else does that look like? The other thing to know is sometimes your company actually hired another company to do your 401k. So sometimes there's fees associated with that that get passed on to you. So not only you're paying the fee for your prospectus or for which mutual fund you chose, but you're also going to be paying a fee for them to run it. So even the money market swaps, sometimes it's like $20 a year, or maybe there's a monthly fee if you just do the money market. So pay attention to that too. And at a future video, we're going to talk about how to look at the prospectus and decide where you want to put your money. Let's talk about what a fee does to what you're saving for retirement. Let's say you are saving in your 401k $10,000 a year, and we're 20 years out, and you have saved 20 years out $540,000 in your index fund, and we are using 8% is what I'm using. $10,000 a year for 20 years, index fund earning 8%. This 8% number is a typical number that we throw out for a total market index fund. There really isn't such a thing. But I can tell you that since the inception of the S&P 500, in its current form in 1957, it's been earning over 11%. So this is a very conservative number. 10,000 a year, 20 years, this is where you end up. If you put it into an actively managed fund with a 2% fee, just the fee, so that's assuming that it's doing just as well as that 8%, you're going to get $420,000. All right, so that cost you $120,000 by having somebody else manage your money. Let's look at what that looks like in 40 years. Say for 40 years you put in $10,000. $40 years, $10,000. You're, once again, we're using an 8% return, which is a total market. S&P 500, once again, is around 11% for the last 70 years. So I'm using very conservative numbers. So in 40 years, your $10,000 is going to be worth $3 million in an index fund with really low fees. If you put it in an actively managed and they manage to match that 8%, you're going to have $1.7 million. That's huge. So that is why I'm thinking that the best way to do your investments is going to be in index funds. So we're going to be looking next time at how to look at a prospectus, looking at index funds, different types, and what that looks like to diversify. Next time, might be 2. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, see you next week. Thanks. Thank you for joining us on the Moola Master YouTube channel. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe below. And if there's a specific topic you would like to see us go over, please put it in the comments so we can go over it at a later episode. We'll be publishing weekly, so stay tuned for more. If you are interested in one-on-one financial coaching and help with a financial plan, please see our website at Moola, Moola, masters.com. We'll see you there.